What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Code Peterson tutorial. We have some more GB Studio action for you today. And the other day I had made a post on my YouTube channel, and procedurally degenerated John put a comment on there for us asking, is there a way where we could incorporate a loot system into a game? What a great request and what a great idea. And I can't believe I haven't really thought of doing that yet for a tutorial. Even better is for my spooky Halloween trick or treat style thing I'm working on. I want to be able to incorporate a loot system with that where I go up to houses and get something different each time I trick or treat. So that is the simple way I'm going to demonstrate on how you can have something randomly added to an inventory and kind of incorporate it with a loot type system. So this is my demonstration here. As you can see, we just have our ghost costume and we go up and nothing really happens to this person in the costume, but I want it to where when I collide with that actor, then I get something while I'm trick-or-treating. Okay, so here we go. To begin with, I have this actor here selected, and collision group 1 is what I'm going to use for this, and it's a witch costume, so I just have this titled witch. And then when it collides with the player, so in other words, when I move my character up and those two collide, then this is what's going to happen. So the first thing is I will add an event, and I want to put in here set variable to value. Variable set to value. Here we go. And for this, I can use a local variable for this because I want it to change every time I collide with this character up here. I'll rename this to loot. And for the value, if I click this little number down here, I can go down to math, and I will go to random. And then it asks me basically like what the range is going to be in terms of numbers. Because the way that I'm pretty sure this works is if I choose 3, then that means it's going to choose a random number between 0, 1, and 2 because they always start with 0 for the numbering system on there. Now to prove that, to prove if that is actually in fact happening, I should go down here and add another event, and we'll use display dialog, and we'll just put in here $ and loot. Select it here. So that means it's going to print the variable that is randomly generated on there. All right, I'll run play here. I'll go up here. So 2 is the first number, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2. Can I get a 1? Can we get a 1? There we go. So it is possible. Now, I'm not sure how great that the random number generating mechanism for this. I don't really know the ins and outs or like what's underneath the hood, so to speak, for that. But we do see that we're able to get some random generated numbers in there for that. Okay, that's the first item that I want to do. The next thing I need to do is have some way to keep track of those numbers that I'm randomly generated and having them correspond with something that I could collect and add to my inventory. So we'll go in here to add event, and we will go if variable, and we are looking for if variable compare with value. So if loot, we'll say is equal to 0, then we are going to add an event, and we're going to search for variable increment by 1. And then in here, we have this loot here. I'll click the drop down menu, and I need to go to my global variables for this one because I need it to keep track of it throughout the game. And I'll select variable 0, and I will rename this one to MMs for M&Ms. So we're going to add 1 to a variable called M&Ms. After that, I can actually copy this event, and then I can paste this event after. Now down here, I have if loot is equal to 1. This time I'm going to go down and choose another global variable 1, and this one I will call Snickers. I can click this drop down arrow and paste event after from my third one, and I will say if loot is equal to 2, then we have an increment being added to this global variable 2, and we'll change the name of this one to Reese's. All right, here is our basic system for this while that happens. Now, in order for me to want to keep, you could keep track of this a variety of different ways. I have made some different ways to keep track of inventory with tutorials on my channel. So just check that out on the Code Peterson YouTube channel in the Let's Make a Game Boy playlist. And I do have multiple ones with inventory where you can keep track of it different ways. This is just kind of a simple way where you could, I think, and I will go to my scene 1 and I'm going to click here, and then I will go to add event, and I'm searching for attach script to button, and I will say start, and I'll unselect B, and on press I will display dialog. All right, and then in here I can type in M&Ms with the colon, and then I'm going to put in my $ and MM, and you'll see here there's this M&Ms option, so I'll select that. If I do that properly, we'll see $3 there, which just means that it's the variable what it's going to show there. Okay, then the second one I had was Snickers, and I will go $Snickers, and then underneath that I will put in Reese's, and I'll go $. We'll try this out and we'll see how it's looking here. I'll press return. So I have 0 for all of those right now. Now I'll go up here, and it has my Reese's on there. And now it has my M&Ms on there. So what I might do here is go back up here to my witch that I have, and then I might go here and go to add event, and then I will go display dialog. I'm going to place in here you received candy. Then I might say check your inventory. And there we go. Now let's give it a try. All right, and then if I press return here, got a Reese's, got an M&M, 2 Reese's, We can see we're getting those in there. Now, with this random number generator, it seems like we're not getting the number 1 in there very often. So that might be something I need to continue playing around with and seeing what the deal is with that, because that is kind of odd. But we did get a number 1 earlier when we tried this out, so we do know it's possible. But in any case, something at least to get you started with for this tutorial. So let me know what you think of this, if this helps as far as randomly generated loot items, if you have a different way to use this random number generator, or if you've noticed it's kind of weird like this also, or if you have a suggestion on how to, make it be a little bit more random. I would love to hear those responses in the comments. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we'll hopefully catch you on another tutorial video.